If you enjoy makeup, there's nothing quite like the fun of trying a new makeup product that's been on your wish list for quite some time. So that's exactly what we'll be doing today. I'll share with you and try on for the first time the products that I purchased during the recent Sephora spring sale to see whether we classify them as a yay or a nay for mature skin. But before I give those products a go today, I want to extend a very warm welcome to all of you who've joined me today. My name is Elise, and as a makeup artist who specializes in helping those of us over 50 get our glow back, I love sharing makeup tips, techniques, and product suggestions that can help us look and feel more vibrant, happy, and confident so we can live our very best lives. And we occasionally also take forays into the worlds of fashion and health and wellness. And speaking of wellness, at the conclusion of today's video, I'll share with you some really interesting new research that can really make a difference in the quality of our lives as we get older. But now, on to makeup. The first product that I'm going to apply is an eyeshadow shimmer duo that has quite honestly not received the greatest reviews. And frankly, I didn't really purchase it. It was a gift from my daughter. But I thought this would be a really good time to give it a try. It's Patrick Ta's Major Dimensions Eye Illusion Eyeshadow Duo, which comes in 5 shades and which is a shimmering eyeshadow duo with super fine sparkles and multi-dimensional pearl pigments. It's very pricey at $42, and many people feel that it just doesn't warrant that price point since the shimmer isn't particularly outstanding and it can get in the eyes and irritate them. The description indicates that the shimmer and light-catching pigments can be used in several different ways. The darker shade in the duo can be patted all over the lid, and the lighter shade can be applied in the center of the lid for a layered, more dimensional look. Or you can apply one of the shades with a light pressing motion for a scattered light effect. I have the shade called Talk to My Team, which is a champagne sparkle with a pink flip pearl and a copper sparkle with a pink flip pearl. This is what it looks like on the model. Now, I have to admit I'm a little nervous about this product getting in my eyes, so I'm going to apply it to just one of my eyelids and let's see how it goes. I'm going to try the first technique where I apply the darker shade over my entire lid and the lighter shade just in the center of my lid. So here's the lighter shade and the deeper shade is above it. But as you can see, it really doesn't look that impactful. Okay, I'm going to press this darker shade all over my lid. And it actually is looking brighter and stronger when I press it on this way. And now I'm just tapping the lighter shade onto the center. And I'm holding my head back so it doesn't get in my eyes, hopefully. Well, I have to say I think it's pretty, but I don't know if it's that much more outstanding than many other shimmers that I have in my collection. This next product is a repurchase favorite from Sephora. I originally had the mini size, which I'm now almost out of, so I decided to purchase the larger regular size since I absolutely love this product and I use it so very often. It's Saie Beauty's Glowy Super Gel, which is a lightweight glitter-free highlighter that has plant-derived glycerin and squalane for hydrated, brightened skin. The shades include Star Glow, which is a champagne color that I have, Sun Glow, which is a bronze gold, Rose Glow, which is a rose gold for an ethereal look, and Warm Glow, which is their newest shade, and that's more of a soft, warm gold. Just 1 to 2 pumps applied under makeup creates a really lovely lit from within glow. It can also be mixed with moisturizers or foundations or simply applied separately on its own. This is one of my very favorite highlighters to mix in with other products because it never fails to perform beautifully. I'm going to go ahead and mix 1 pump of it with my Sephora Best Skin Ever foundation. And you can see the beautiful pearlescent glow this highlighter has. And I'm just going to dot it on. I mix quite a bit of the Saie Beauty product in one area of the top of my hand. And then on the other area of my hand, I have a little bit more of the foundation. And that's so I can press the glowier section in the areas where I want more glow. And this works particularly well with this foundation because this foundation is a very natural finish. And I have some kind of, I don't know what going on up here, so I'll put a little bit more up there. Next, I want to give a little bit of love and coverage to my age spots, so I'll apply my Natasha Denona High Glam Concealer. I purchased a backup of this product during Sephora's fall sale, and I'm really glad I did because this has really become my go-to concealer. And if you'd like to give some love to this channel, you can easily do so by tapping that like button and subscribing before you leave today. Since my favorite contour product of all time is Westman Atelier's Face Trace in the shade Biscuit, I invested in the regular size of this product as well. If you've watched any of my other videos, I'm sure you've heard me rave about this product. That's because it's a perfect contour color if you have fair to light skin, and the formula is so sheer and creamy that it's absolutely foolproof to apply and blend. Although I still have some product left in my mini version of this product, I want to save that mini size for travel, so I'll go ahead and apply my contour today using this new regular size product. As you can see, it's not too dark and it really just glides on. This is one of my favorite brushes, which I'm so glad I purchased at an earlier Sephora sale. And this is the F4 brush from Makeup by Mario. And I love it so much because it's soft and I love the angles of it. And I'm not crazy about double-sided brushes, but this one is really convenient to use for both foundation and contour. See how natural that looks? It's just amazing. I do have to blend this side in, however. It provides just enough depth to give a little bit of dimension to the face, and that's what we're after. And I'm going to take the foundation side and just go along the edges down at the bottom. And I usually do it around the contour everywhere, but I don't know if I really need to do it up here. And there is a certain amount of satisfaction in a magnetic closure. Well, I quite frankly feel a bit sheepish about these next purchases because even though blush is not at the top of my list of favorite makeup products, I somehow managed to end up with not just 2 or 3 new blushes, but wait for it, 7 new blushes. But in my defense, I have to say that 2 of the blushes are new colors from Patrick Ta's Major Dimensions Double Take Cream and Powder Blush line, which I absolutely love because it has both cream and powder formulas and is long lasting when these 2 formulas are layered. The shades I purchased are She Goes to the Gym, which is a cool mauve rose, and She's Seductive, which is a warm mauve rose. I'll first swatch these and then apply each of them the way Patrick Ta suggests we apply them, by using the powder first and then the cream product on top. So I think by looking at them next to each other, you can certainly tell which is the warmer one and which is the cooler one. Is the one that has the cool tone, which is She Goes to the Gym. So this is the warm shade. And here is the cream on top of it. These are very different blush colors for me because I usually, as you well know, go with pink and lavender or brighter pink tones. This is the cool tone. And this is the one called She Goes to the Gym. And here's the cream on top of it. Now, I definitely have a strong preference on which one I feel looks better, but I'd love to know your thoughts. So this is the warm tone side, She's Seductive, and this is the cool tone side, She Goes to the Gym. 2 cream stick blushes from the clean beauty brand Westman Atelier are next. I have the shade Petal, which is a dusty rose nude, and Pop It, which is a brighter poppy pink. These blush sticks also come in 7 additional colors. They're known for being beautifully creamy and blendable and have a hydrating natural finish. The inclusion of jojoba seed oil and raspberry leaf stem cell extract in the formula helps with the hydration and accounts for the seamless blendability. The brand also uses something called biomimicry pigment technology, which mimics the structure of the skin ceramides for more color payoff, which means a longer lasting blush. And they can be used both on the lips and the cheeks. Here are swatches of these 2 shades for you. Petal is at the top, which is the dusty nude pink, and Pop It is below it. I'll apply one color on one side and the other color on the other side, and we'll see what we think. I'm just going to use my brush first, and I'm going to just tap that on. Actually, for being such a light color, there's quite a bit of payoff. With any kind of blush application, this tapping motion is really crucial. This helps prevent any makeup from underneath being disturbed. So this is Petal, and this is Pop It. Definitely a difference in undertones between these 2 shades. And you'd think this one would be much brighter and stronger than it is, but it actually shears out very well, which makes it not as strong a color. So this is the Pop It side. This is definitely neutral to warm, and this is a cooler tone. That's 4 blushes down and 3 to go. The next 2 are 2 different shades from Huda Beauty's new liquid blush filter line. I have the shade Bubblegum, which is a soft poppy pink, and Ubi Cream, which is described as an electric lilac. Let's go ahead and check out what these 2 shades look like. I probably don't have to tell you which is which. Bubblegum is on top and the Ubi Cream is beneath it. I've heard nothing but good reviews of these Huda liquid blushes, so I just had to give them a try. The website description indicates that these Huda Beauty blushes are lightweight and have buildable pigments and finely milled micro pearls for a soft focus, high impact glow. There are 9 additional colors, so let's go ahead and check out these blushes. I think it's important also to take a look at the applicator of these blushes because, let me show you. You have to be very careful when you pull them out because they're quite big. And as I pull it out, I'm afraid that some blush might splatter. Luckily it didn't, but that does concern me a bit. So we're going to go with Bubblegum over here, and I'm just going to tap it in after dotting it on. I don't know how much is showing up, so I'm just going to keep building it up a bit. I think now you can see it a little bit better. And here's the Ubi Cream. And as you can tell from the colors I'm wearing, I am truly a fan of this kind of shade. And again, I'm going to build this up a bit. I do like the glow it provides, but it does seem like you have to build it up quite a bit. So this is Bubblegum, and here's the Ubi Cream. And the glow does certainly come across. I do like a blush that has some glow to it. And last, but certainly not least, I have the Haus Labs Color Fuse Glassy Blush Balm in the shade Glassy Lilac. This is one of the 8 original shades, and there are also 4 brand new spiced up neutral shades. Haus Labs is a clean beauty brand, and these blush balms are described as being weightless and delivering buildable color with a glassy finish that lasts 8 hours. They're infused with goji berry complex, which makes the skin look plumper, and they're formulated with 70% skincare actives that boost skin hydration. So let's give this one a go. I like how it applies. You barely need to blend it. It's like it absorbs and melts into your skin. Very interesting. And although this color looks really bright, again, when it's sheared out, it's very wearable. Since we have no more blushes to try, unbelievably, I'm going to put this on both sides of my face. And I'm just going to put on a second layer here, just so it shows up a little bit better for you. And this is the Haus Labs blush. Now I have to say, in terms of ease of application, this last blush from Haus Labs pretty much wins that category. But I do really love the powder and cream Patrick Ta blush combinations, and I thought She Goes to the Gym really worked well. In terms of colors, I really love the Huda Beauty blushes, but that applicator really is a bit of a challenge. All right, let's move on to a new makeup category, highlighters. I have 2 single highlighters from Giorgio Armani that I actually didn't purchase during the sale, but which I'd also like to try today. I have the 2 shades Stellar, which is a light gold, and Dawn, which is a very light copper. Stellar is at the top and Dawn is underneath it. I'm going to go with Stellar over here. It blends in very nicely. That's Stellar, which is the gold tone. And this is Dawn, which has more of a, I would call it a champagne-y copper. The formula of these products is really interesting because they're a watery yet creamy liquid, and they're described as being multi-dimensional 3D glow. These products are also described as melting onto the skin and providing a seamless film of shimmer that doesn't move the makeup underneath. I usually don't wear gold highlight, but I really kind of like this one. It's a light enough gold that it's not overpowering. And this is the Dawn shade. I also went just a little wild with lip products this time around during the Sephora sale. I have a new lipstick shade called Daydream, which is a cool pink from the clean beauty brand Kosas. This is the shade Daydream, and it very definitely is more of a medium pink shade. I also have Fenty Beauty's Gloss Balm Heat in the shade Lavender Savage. And I have 2 of the new Fenty Beauty Gloss Balm Sticks, one in the shade Flamingo Fling and the other in the shade Icy Amethyst. Let me show you all 3 of those. This first one is the Fenty Beauty Heat, which is more of a lip oil than a balm, and the other two balms underneath it are the new balm sticks. The Fenty Beauty Heat has a doe foot, and these new balm sticks twist up. And since I never want to run out of my Lawless lip gloss in the shimmer shade Dazette, I purchased a second backup during this sale. For my try-on of these new products, I'll first apply my Charlotte Tilbury lip liner in the shade Super Size Me, and then apply my Catrice matte lipstick in the shade Good Intentions as my base. And then over this base, I'll apply each of the new lip products, starting with a Kosas lipstick in the shade Daydream. I'm applying the Catrice lipstick because it's a matte, and I don't want these other formulas to be able to migrate into those fine lines. This is Daydream over Catrice Good Intentions. I think over it, I'm going to apply the Fenty Beauty Gloss Balm Heat in Lavender Savage. I don't know if much lavender is really coming through, but it has a really nice feel to it and a nice consistency. And this is what the Fenty Beauty Gloss Balm Heat in Lavender Savage looks like applied just on its own. I'm especially excited about trying out the two new Fenty Gloss Balm sticks that are shimmery. In fact, I recently saw the testers for these products at an Ulta end cap, but there were no actual products to be found, so they've definitely been popular. First, Pink Flamingo. Here is Pink Flamingo over my Catrice Good Intentions matte lipstick. And interesting, when I take it off my lips, you can still see some glitter on my lips. And here's what Pink Flamingo looks like by itself with just lip liner. Now I applied the other Fenty Gloss Balm Stick in Icy Amethyst over the lip liner and the Catrice lipstick. And now here's the Fenty Gloss Balm Stick in Icy Amethyst just by itself with lip liner. These really are gorgeous just by themselves. However, it will be interesting to see if these migrate into my fine lines around my lips. And now, just for the fun of it, let's apply the Lawless Gloss in Dazette over the Icy Amethyst. Well, if you like gloss, this is really seventh heaven. Well, earlier in this video, I mentioned that I wanted to share some really interesting new research about how we can improve the quality of our lives. There's been a lot written about how we can achieve more happiness and pleasure, and also how important it is for our lives to have meaning and purpose. But new research indicates that it's also important for our lives to be psychologically rich. Lorraine Besser, who's a professor of philosophy and specializes in the philosophy and psychology of what makes a good life, has recently written a book titled The Art of the Interesting. In this book, she shares research about how important it is for each of us to pay attention to what lights us up, what sparks us, and what catches our attention and intrigues us. This is because interesting experiences captivate our minds, engage our thoughts and emotions, and often change our entire perspective. What's interesting is different for each of us. For instance, what sparks your interest or intrigues you may not be my cup of tea at all. So for instance, which of these statements sparks your attention, makes you curious, or gets you intrigued? Hawaii has the most beautiful rainbows. Lemons float but limes sink. Mount Everest is taller than it used to be. Before becoming an actor, Christopher Walken was a lion tamer. The circulatory system of a human being is more than 60,000 miles long. Or actor Daniel Radcliffe broke more than 8 wands while filming the Harry Potter movies. So whether we feel like something is missing from our lives or we're yearning for more, learning how to cultivate the interesting in our life can make a profound difference. One way that I'm personally exploring this concept is through a very inexpensive micro adventure course that I talked about in one of my recent videos. I'll put a link to that video as well as a link to the micro adventure course in the pinned comment section below and in the description box. It's an absolutely fascinating process. Well, that's it for today, and all I can say is that I really hope there are no more launches this year of interesting cream or liquid blushes, because I apparently have no willpower whatsoever when it comes to these products. And apparently lip products are also a danger zone for me as well. In fact, in an upcoming video, I'll share some drugstore lip products that I am very excited to try. Until then, I wish you good health and happiness, and I hope you have a fabulous rest of your day. Take care.